Gender equality! Women equal to men. I want to assume that you all believe that men are equal to women, so I'm just going to talk on why, in spite of believing that, we exhibit some irrational behavior sometimes, and what should be our solution to that problem. And when I mean irrational behavior, I'm talking about things like how men get outraged when women overtake them on the road, and stuff like that. Right? So they don't believe, these are the same people, and they believe that men are equal to women, but still we do that. Right? So there seems to be something going on over there. What we exhibit superficially is not what we seem to be believing deep inside our minds. Right? Let's play a little guessing game here. So I'm just going to call out some words, and I want you to focus on the image that comes to your mind when I'm saying those words. Space explorer, pilot, CEO, homemaker, nurse. And when that frigging slide moves, you will figure out that that's probably not what you will imagine. That's definitely not your pilot. That's definitely not your homemaker. Right? So what's wrong? So this is what the psychologists call the implicit association. Right? So we have the tendency to categorize people based on how our mind is conditioned. That's what we call as stereotypes, right? We associate some kind of image of, okay, people fall into these categories. So these stereotypes are basically things that you keep, your mind is getting accustomed to right from your childhood. There is a lot of things that contribute to why you form these stereotypes. That's what's called social conditioning, right? Your society, your environment, your school, your workplace, just about everything contributes to how you form these images of people and how you associate them, right? The media is a large contributor to that social conditioning too, right? Move. So I can show them this ad. That is freaking so blatantly sexist, right? So mind you, media is not always so blatantly sexist. In very, very subtle ways, they kind of keep making up your mind for you, right? So media is something that was very recent. So what was it? How did they do these stereotyping before that? Traditions. Awesome hairdo. I tell you that thing weighs like 2.5 kilos. And that implicitly means that the bride has to go ahead. She just has no other way, right? So very, very subtle hints on, yeah, the woman has to go ahead, and that means we put this awesome 2.5 kilo hairdo on her head, right? So the problem really is that we have this mindset, right? And that's looming large like a mountain here, right? And we seem to have made some headway in breaking that mountain, but still it's looming, and it's a very real thing that men are not really equal to women, and this big inequality gap. Traditionally, our solutions are based on making policies, changing the laws, right? Focusing on changing the mindset of people, and motivating women, and so on. And these are all good things, right? But these are all such grand events, and they take such a long time in coming. So it's a good thing, and we should keep working on it. But my take is that in addition to all of that, you should also give people the tools that will help them scale those mountains for themselves and explore opportunities and create opportunities and make those changes in their lives themselves. So one instance that comes to my mind is how mobile phones have basically become this whole life-changing thing. They started out as luxury gadgets, but the fact that they were affordable and they were usable has made everyone adopt this, and it's just about everyone uses it these days. So in terms of coming back to the topic of women, right? I'm going to give you a couple of instances as to why I think the solutions should be affordable and usable. That is a kitchen of the Indian woman a couple of generations ago. That stove there works on firewood. The fact that firewood takes such a long time in heating up, and the fact that they had large families, basically meant that the woman was literally imprisoned in her kitchen, right? But this changed a lot of that, right? This was a simple thing, and it cut down cooking time by so much that it basically liberated her and gave her the freedom of exploring a world outside of the kitchen. My own grandmother actually learned to play the violin, right? So talking about learning, right? Education. Education is also one of those things that we are still fighting the battle with. Right? That is still a distant dream that we have not realized at all. Especially in India, women's education is like nowhere close to where we want it to be. In spite of this, there is something significant that seems to have happened, right? We figure out when the freaking slide moves. Okay. So this was in Tamil Nadu, and the literacy rates across different decades, something in 1981-91 has like just about doubled the jump in rate, right? So I don't find like specific policies or laws that contributed to this, but I think that had a hand in it. That's a 50cc two-wheeler. Look at the design. It's suited for the Indian woman's sari, right? It's lightweight and it was affordable, right? And because of all this, a lot of people actually adopted this, and this meant basically that more women could actually find their own way to the colleges. It gave them the freedom of mobility, right? It was affordable, it was usable. It also meant that more men, like, they were able to cart their children to colleges and schools too, right? And not just one woman, it's a two-seater, so 2 women can get to colleges. Maybe that's what doubled up the rate. So, so what I'm trying to really say is that while we keep focusing on making these policies, we should still look at simple solutions to these problems, practical solutions that will actually help people adopt these and make those changes. Give them the option or the choice to make their own lives. Thank you.